Hey guys, we are back again for another video. Now, I did a video yesterday and we talked about the stolen Rolls Royce, honey, and I've been getting emails, calls, everything. And it led me to believe that, girl, you missed out on so much information. So I had to go back and reread the report. And baby, this is so bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This complaint could lead to somebody going to jail because in this report, they are saying that their car was stolen. Not only are they saying the car was stolen, they are saying that King conspired with another individual, y'all, and we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
So guys, when I originally did this video, honestly, I was really in a rush and I was, had read it a few times, but I didn't dig very deep into it because, people send me stuff all the time. But with this, I knew it was real because obviously it is on, Fulton County, Superior Court. So I knew that it was definitely valid. But when I did the video, I did not go into a lot of the implications. And I want you guys to understand that this is a serious matter because, I was contacted by an attorney and he, let me know that, hey, this is a serious matter. I get it. And, we can still talk about it. And he's going to come hopefully on the show to explain it. But I didn't really dig really deep into it. It's just news information that I'm putting out to y'all, and we laughed, kiki, and we talked about it. But baby, it is more serious than I actually anticipated. So serious that YouTube contacted me. One thing I like about YouTube is we can share things, but some things like people will complain saying that they are a celebrity. Nobody knows who King is. They barely know who Quad is. I mean, us people that watch the show. Otherwise, don't nobody know who the hell they are. They're not like a Will Smith. They're nobody. She move around and he move around Atlanta like a regular person. Nobody cares about them. But I can understand when your reputation is on the line because you have told so many lies and now your lies are coming. The chickens are coming home to roost because you told us that you received a Rolls Royce, and you did. You told us that you received a Rolls Royce, and we are learning that your man is being sued for one.
Turn the lights up. How you do the ceiling? Wait a minute. We just learning how to run this shit. I don't know what they doing down there in Atlanta or what they got to do for these damn Maybach. What is this? It's not a Maybach. I mean, Rose. It's a Rolls Royce. Don't get it right. Okay, look at this thing. Ooh, y'all.
So that is what we learned. Like, we learned from Quad that she received a Rolls Royce as a gift, which is absolutely great. But it doesn't remove the fact that your man is being sued, honey, because an organization is saying that he was, that he conspired to steal a car. That's what they said. And we're going to get into it. But before we get into that, like, what I want to do is lay a foundation here because I get it. Everybody does not watch all of the videos. I'm on YouTube, and a lot of the YouTuber stuff I don't see. It's not because I don't want to see it when I'm creating videos. I just don't have time. So with that in mind, I want to make sure you guys understand where we are today. Now, what I want you guys to understand is Quad's man, who goes by the name of King, because, I mean, y'all been in my comments like his name is King. King is the man's last name. His name is Kirk. Now, I'm not calling any man that's not associated with me King. The man name is Kirk. That's his name, Kirk King. Now, why I want to call him King, she can do that, but his name is Kirk, okay? Now, what we want to go into here is he owns this company right here, and hopefully you guys can see it on the screen. The name of one of the companies that he owns is Atlanta Exotic and Luxury Car Rentals, LLC, okay? It looks like this was formulated in 2020. not very, long ago. So that is the website of Georgia Corporation's division. Okay, so we're just pretty much looking that business up. Okay, nothing there. Now, the reason why I needed to show you guys that information is because it's going to play into what I need to further say. Now, I know some of y'all are in the comments saying, okay, well, that's not the car he gave Quad. To be frankly honest, I only know what they show on TV. I've never been in Quad's car. I don't know what kind of car it is. I said I'll take a look at it. Keep in mind, the association here. Quad is associated with him. Quad's name is not mentioned in this report. Like, you don't see her name is not mentioned in the report. We're strictly talking about her because this is her man, right? This is her man, but her name is not mentioned in the report. So, I mean, y'all, I never read anything with Quad's name in there. But also, what I want you guys to understand, I am starting to put my documents on Patreon, and you can go over there and check it out. If you want to get the full unedited version of this document, you can go over on Patreon and you can purchase it for $15, which is the same price that I paid. You can definitely go purchase it, download it, whatever you want to do with it. And it's the full, document there. You can definitely have at it, whatever it is you choose to do. Okay. So you can do that. But what I want to get into here, guys, is this document here. As I originally stated, when I gave you guys my commentary yesterday, in all honesty, I was in a rush. I did not realize what had occurred. So I was in the bed, and maybe I can show y'all this. I was in the bed, and, I woke up. Well, I don't think I can show you. I woke up and I received this Well, before I went to bed, I received messages. I received one from an attorney. He wants to come on. That's fine. But then, I don't always, check in my videos all the time. But I received let me see if I can find it. I received an email from YouTube. And I can't find it, y'all, but the email from YouTube and what let me just kind of go into there. What ended up happening is they reported the video. The video was reported. Can y'all see this? Yeah, there it goes. They reported the video right here and said that they were able to see personal PII. They call it personal identifiable information. I mean, I know I work for the federal government. I done told y'all I'm getting ready to quit. So I'm familiar with that. But just so y'all know, this is just my brain and how I think. This is public information. This document, you can get it. This is nothing that, is not public. But I understand when, according to this report, because they're pretty much saying you stole a car. You don't want that information out. But here's the deal. Don't come for me. I'm going to use Kenya. Don't come for me until I send for you. Because for one, when you do that, you make me go harder. And then I start to say, what did I miss? Because I'm just reading the documents. And I said, girl, you missed a lot. So let's get into it. I missed so much to the fact that I wasn't thinking. I'm just reading it and going about my business. Now, it was funny, especially to learn that the lady they rented the car to is maybe an alcoholic because she's so drunk she doesn't know where the car is. But let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. So this document was filed in the Superior Court of Fulton County, state of Georgia. You guys can see the court case number 2023 CB 3833335. Okay, go get it for yourself, or like I said, go on over to Patreon. Now, what you see on this document, it says verified complaint for damages, petition of writs of possession and conversion. So what they're pretty much saying is they want their car back. They want the car back. You see, the plaintiff is multiple individuals. Some of these people which is very interesting that they're complaining about their address and don't nobody even know who the hell they are. I have never heard of any of these people at all. Okay, so let's start with the first person, Carlton L. Curry Sr., Carlton L. Curry II. Now, keep in mind, I said Carlton L. Curry Sr. and then Carlton L. Curry II. It seems like it's two people, but what we're going to learn in the report is they're alleging that some fraudulent stuff took place with regards to one person acting as if they were another person. I left out all that in my first video, okay? So the name of the company is called Flipping with Carlton LLC. There's a lady by the name of Janiqua Mason. There is Kirk Andrew King. I know y'all think his name is King. The man name is Kirk Andrew King. That's why she calls him King, I would imagine. Now, Kirk owns Atlanta Exotic and Luxury Car Rentals LLC. Okay. Now, they also list on this report anybody else who may be in possession of the vehicle, because what I want you guys to understand is they believe that this vehicle was stolen, but they also believe that the two people involved were the two guys, which they're going to name in this complaint. So this is all information that I left out yesterday because I was just reading it. I wasn't reading into it or drawing conclusions, but like I said, when people kept, sending me, I'm like, what's going on here? So what they are saying is their car was stolen. That's what they're saying. And they're saying the people involved, they know something, but they are not telling them because they are trying to evade, elude, and keep the car. This is what the report says. Now, what it goes into saying, it says luxury lease company, who is the plaintiff. They're saying that they have damages and they want this car back. Now, they list the defendants as Carl L. Curry Sr., and then they lease him as the lessor. So I guess the person who, they originally had the interactions with, who has a company called Flipping with Carlton LLC. Now, they are the grantor, okay? Now, they refer to the other people. Now, when I say the other people, I'm speaking of Janiqua Mason, and who else? Who else is the other person? I don't know. So, because what they're saying is they know that there's other defendants. They may not know these people names because what they're saying is somebody is in possession of this car and they want it back, because then they really can't tell you who may have it because they don't know. That's what they're saying. Okay. But what they do say is they list Carlton L. Curry II. They list this Janiqua Mason girl. And they also list Kirk Andrew King of Atlanta Exotic and Luxury Car Rentals. Okay. They list them. They're suing them because they're saying, look, we want our car back and we know that you had something to do with it. Now, I'm going to skip page 2. Because page 2 strictly goes into these individuals being served. And I mean, do we care if they've been served or not? I don't. But in the general background and facts, let's get into it because this part is actually a little funny. It's crazy. It's absurd, to rent a 2019 Rolls Royce and it just vanished and you feel like you don't owe these people nothing. It's giving scam. It's giving scam. Will this lead to criminal charges? I don't know. But what this company is saying is that these people have conspired to steal their car. This is what they're saying. Okay. Now, this is in the document and I'm going to read it. Now, general background and facts. What they say is the defendant, Curry Sr., he executed a business lease agreement, which is an open-ended agreement dated for February 1st, 2023. It's a lease agreement. Okay. He leased the 2019 Rolls-Royce Cullinan bearing the vehicle identification number, which they don't give us. Okay. Using his company, defendant used Flipping, whatever his name of his company is. Flipping with Carlton. Okay. Flipping with Carlton. Okay. Now, they provide a correct and true copy of the lease agreement, which we're going to get into. Okay, so the person that is suing these guys is the servicer for Luxury Lease Company. So Luxury Lease Company has hired somebody else to go after these people, okay? Now, the lease agreement provided for a first month's payment of $10,743.24, and beginning on the second month, 58 consecutive payments of $5,371.62. And this was to begin on March 2022. Okay? Follow me, guys. So some people ask, they were going to pay for a Rolls Royce by that time. This is a lease. Keep in mind, they were never going to own it. It's a lease. So they were going to pay their lease payment and go about their business like you pay your rent payment and go about your business, or anything that you would rent. When you lease your house, you are renting it, okay? Now, what they're saying is they agreed that if they defaulted, that they would be able to take the car back. Keep in mind, this is all a part of the agreement, okay? They got the car in March. Now, they also signed, in connection with this lease, Curry Sr. signed an anti-theft system disclosure statement and agreement for installation of a GPS tracker. Is pretty much what it says. And that they will not tamper, will not disconnect, will not remove the device or the positioning of the device from this vehicle. They signed a statement. Okay, it was signed. He signed it. So it's one of those things where you can't say you didn't know, because they made you sign something saying that they told you this and you agreed that you would not do it. What the agreement also said, should this occur in an event that you default under this contract, right? I'm sorry, in the event that you remove it from the vehicle, it's a violation. I'm sorry, it's a violation of the contract. Now, there is also an agreement that says that you will not rent this vehicle, you will not advertise it, you will not sublease it to a third party. You cannot sell your interest in this vehicle. You cannot hire anybody. No ride sharing, none of that. You cannot do it. Again, they signed an agreement saying they wouldn't do these things. So it's not like you can say, hey, you didn't tell me I couldn't rent that Rolls Royce out to somebody else, because they did tell you that. You signed the agreement. And we're going to get into it. Now, everything that I stated said that this car was leased in February of 2023. Okay. Now, we are in now June of 2023. So we got February, March, April, May, June. 4 months later, on or about June 7th, 2023, Curry Sr. contacted the owner to report that he had filed a police report on the vehicle and believed it to be stolen. So he believed that somebody had stolen this Rolls Royce in 2023. He believed, the best of his ability, that the car was stolen. Okay. Now, the owner did their discovery, right? Because it's their car. Obviously, they probably need to file an insurance claim. They learned that the vehicle actually had been rented, which is crazy because the vehicle was rented on June 8th. But it says on or about June 7th, Curry contacted the plaintiff to report that he had filed a police report. I don't understand how he could do it on June 7th, but then somebody used the car on June 8th. I have no idea. Like I said, an attorney is I'm going to hook up with this attorney, and he's going to just, kind of explain that, because from reading this, it seems suspect. It almost seemed like he called the people to say that the car was stolen, but it hadn't been stolen. I don't know. Maybe. This is what it says. Now, the person who rented the car on June 8th, she rented it from Kirk, which is very interesting because if you guys are following along, Kurt was sued, but you probably didn't know what the hell Kurt had to do with this. Well, per this report, Kurt is the actual person that rented the car to this Mason lady, right? Well, the police report revealed that Miss Mason on June 9th, 2023 said she got sloppy drunk and she lost the keys. She went to sleep and lost the keys. Mic drop. Because you are driving a Rolls Royce and you still getting sloppy drunk. I'm confused. A person that drives a Rolls Royce, they either have a driver or they're conducting themselves in a manner that they may not even drink. So help me understand how you sloppy drunk driving a Rolls Royce. But hey, I don't know. This is just what the complaint says, but I just don't understand. And I don't know, maybe y'all live a different life than mine, I guess. Have you ever talked to the police? I mean, if you were drunk, would you tell the police you was sloppy drunk? Because I'm just going to say, I had a drink or two. I mean, that's really saying it right there. But to say you was sloppy drunk, if you was sloppy drunk, how would you know it? I don't know, y'all. Something about this ain't right. Okay, so this lady says that she had the keys when she went to sleep, so she lost the keys. Okay. Now, the GPS that was maintained by the owner of the vehicle, they learned that it was disabled on June 9th. So it was disabled around the time she claimed she was sloppy drunk, okay? And what the owner is saying that they don't know where the vehicle is either because the GPS that they had, they're not able to pick up a signal from that GPS, which is kind of saying that it was removed. Okay. But we'll learn further into this complaint that it actually was removed. Now, the GPS maintained by the client, the owner, they stated it was disabled. So that it was disabled. So they were not able to find the vehicle. Now, this is where it's going to get real crazy. And this is the part that I really skimmed. I skimmed this because, again, I'm giving commentary. I don't know anything about this. I'm just reading it. But what it says, and this is the people that are suing them, they say on information and belief, Curry Sr. and Kurt King, or should I say King, because y'all think his name is King, that they are involved with Atlanta Ecstatic, which pursuant to the police report, they rented the vehicle to the defendant Mason. Now, Mason is being sued too. But here's the deal. They were in violation of the rental agreements because you cannot rent a car. Remember, I read that and it said that they signed a separate agreement saying that you're not going to rent the car out. Now, when it says on information and belief, what that is simply saying is they learned this from their investigation. Nobody told them this. So this company has done some kind of investigation where they're making some wild accusations because on information and belief is saying that they did their own research and nobody told them this. Okay. So what they're saying is that King and this guy, they work together and that they are involved equally in King's business, Atlanta Ecstatic car rental place. This is what it says. Can y'all see it on the screen? Okay. If not, check it out on my Patreon. Okay. Now, further, the defendant Carlton II, y'all, this is where it gets creepy, because remember I said, I just read the documents. I'm not understanding why they mad. Like, this is what it says. Because this is why. This is really serious. And based on what I read, if I don't know what information they have, but somebody can be in the slammer, if you understand me here. So it says that the defendant Carlton II has impersonated Carlton Sr. on calls to the plaintiff, and on information and belief, the defendant Carl II is aiding and abetting the other defendants in converting and damaging the plaintiff's interest in the vehicle. So let me break that down to y'all with a quick 1-2-1-2. What they're saying is that there is something criminal going on here, and they are saying that Carlton is impersonating another person, and on information that they have and belief, Carlton is keeping them away from the vehicle and also conspiring with other people to keep the car hid with King. Now, I mean, so this is why they're mad. This is some pretty serious stuff here. And I didn't say it. This is what it says. Y'all can read it on the screen. It says that Carlton has lied because, I mean, when you're pretending to be somebody else, you're lying, and has impersonated someone else on calls to the plaintiff. And they're saying they believe that he is aiding and abetting the other defendants. Who are the other defendants? And pretty much covering up where this car is. They say to date, the car has not been recovered and has either been stolen or its location is being concealed by one or more of the defendants and others. I mean, y'all, I know y'all, y'all understand this. Do I got to really break it down? I mean, do I need to read that again? They said the vehicle has either been stolen or that they're concealing the location. So why on earth would these people think that they have committed a crime when all they did really, right, rent a car and then rent it to somebody else? So I need y'all to understand this. If you're doing business with somebody and the person that you're doing business with think you are a fraud, a scammer, and that you're covering up, this is a crime because they're saying that you stole a car. They're saying that they stole it. This is what they're saying. They say either you know the location of this car or you're working with other individuals to conceal where this car is. It says it on the documents. And I'm not done. It says, on information and belief, one or more of the defendants have conspired with each other to convert the plaintiff's interest in the vehicle and have willfully injured the plaintiff's interest in the vehicle, and that they have acted in a hostile manner when it comes to the plaintiff interest. This is like a mic drop. So, I mean, do I need to break that down for y'all? So basically, what they're saying is, you will not give us any information. The information that you have given us seems to be incorrect. We feel like you are conspiring with others and that you're lying to us. We feel like you probably know where this car is. And for the fact that our car is gone and you got an attitude and you are acting in a hostile manner, that's what it says. That's what it says, y'all. This isn't good. Like I said, I get it now. I mean, when I read this, I'm just reading the documents. I don't really draw many conclusions. I mean, like I said, when the girl said that, she was drunk and she lost the keys, that was just too funny to me. But I kind of understand, but I'm doing the news. I'm reading it. It's not really there's nothing I can do about that. So they're saying they acted in hostility. So, guys, they're saying that they don't believe these people. That's what they're saying. So this can be bad for King. This can be bad for Quad because this is her man. And, Mariah has always said that Quad is a fraud, honey. And it's looking very, very much, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. So they also state that they didn't get paid, that these defendants are in default. It's like, okay, my car was stolen and then now you didn't even pay. There's a lot of bad things going on here. So they also say that they are in violation because the car was sublease. You signed a document, that said you wouldn't do that. You disabled the GPS and you failed to make timely payments that are required in the lease. You know what I would love to know? Before the car was stolen, did y'all even pay? Like, I don't know. Now, it says that they refused to pay the amounts that were owed with regards to the lease. So they demand that they return the vehicle. They are saying that they want a principal amount of $419,000, $869.93 plus interest at a rate of 25%, or the maximum allowed by law. And this starts from June 1st. So maybe they had been making the payments. Maybe they had. So maybe they had been paying the payments. I don't know. They also want to be compensated for legal fees, attorney fees, any fees that it would, that they would pay to actually cover, this vehicle if they can get it. Now, when we go, what page are we on here? We're on page 5. Now, this is bad. This is really bad. This is terribly bad. Now, what they go on into say here, says that despite proper demand being made, basically to make payments with regards to this lease agreement, that they have failed to pay, that the defendants, they actually they're responsible and they bear risk. Wait a minute, y'all. Oh, so basically what they're saying, they're responsible for the vehicle. So I was right. It said, listen, whatever is going on with the vehicle, they're responsible for it because it's theirs and it's not in their possession. They don't have it. And they're just asking for them to pay up. So that's pretty much what they're saying. They're like, look, we don't have the car. We don't know where it's at. They also go into attorney fees. They go into saying that you guys need to pay for our attorney fees. Okay. They want them to pay for the attorney fees. And again, some of y'all was like, why is this taking so long? I don't know. This is Georgia. Stuff take forever. Okay. So I just want y'all to know that. So they want them to pay all of their attorney fees. So this kind of goes into them paying their attorney fees. Okay. They want all attorney fees paid. They have a demand. It says how many days, yada, yada, yada. So on page 7, it goes into, that they had demanded possession of the vehicle from these defendants repeatedly, multiple times. They have attempted to take possession of the vehicle, but to their avail, nothing. They're not able to do it. So, and again, guys, this is where I continue to say, when I originally did this, I missed so much information because they are using some really strong terms. It says it is within the power of the defendants to conceal, waste, encumber, convert, convey, or remove the vehicle from the jurisdiction of this court. You see what I'm saying? They're making some strong accusations. Defendants' failure to surrender possession of the vehicle is causing pain of irreparable harm. Again, why do they feel like they conspire to do something? This is red flag, red flag, red flag. The vehicle is the plaintiff's primary means of recovering the sums due to it. Further, defendants' continued possession of the vehicle will lessen its value and prospects for recovery. So what they're saying is the longer they have it, the less likely they will get it back. The longer they have it, y'all know how cars are, it's going to lose the value, okay? Plaintiff's vehicle will decline in value and be subject to conversion or disposition if plaintiff's rights to possession of the vehicle are not immediately enforced. Because the defendants have failed or refused to surrender possession of the vehicle and its proceeds or other property, and there is a danger of destruction, concealment, or deterioration of the vehicle, the plaintiff has no adequate remedy of law, and its post-judgment remedy is inadequate. The plaintiff has a substantial likelihood of success on the merits of its claim. Plaintiff has determined to exercise its rights to possess the vehicle and is entitled to remove it from the defendant's possession or the possession of any other person and or entity. So do y'all understand what they're saying here? They're saying, we know that you got our car. Now, some of y'all was in the comments saying, like, what you think they do, change the VIN number? I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I guess, something like that can happen. I don't know, but I know this is suspicious as heck, because they are making these people out to basically say that, y'all stole the car. This is what they're saying. Although this is a civil matter, they make some very, very strong allegations, very, very strong. They go on to say, let me go back to page 7. They go on to say that they are entitled to a writ of possession under this code and or injunctive relief providing for turnover to plaintiff of the vehicle or any proceeds from the vehicle or payment at a minimum equal to the total of all amounts due and owing to the plaintiff and or restraining and enjoining defendants and any other defendants from any effort to sell or transfer the vehicle unless the proceeds thereof are turned over and the plaintiff over and paid to the plaintiffs. So y'all, again, they're making some pretty wild accusations. So they're almost making it seem like they still have this car and they don't believe that it's been stolen. Again, y'all in the comments like, so what you think they changed the VIN number? I don't know nothing about criminal activity. I don't know nothing about how they do that. I don't know. I guess you got to get somebody who, may know somebody that did something like this before and they can kind of give y'all some insight. But what they're saying, I mean, you did business with somebody. So at some point, the person you did business with trusted you, but the very person that trusted you, that, they were doing business with you, they're now saying that you're a liar. And that is exactly what they're saying. They're saying that you a liar. This is what the paperwork says. It's saying that they did some shady stuff. And it's interesting that they constantly, reflect on this vehicle as if the vehicle is somewhere in hiding. They don't believe that the vehicle is actually stolen. They reference it as if it's somewhere being used by somebody else. That is what they're saying. They are basically saying that something really, really ugly happened here. Now, if we go on to page 8, basically what they say is the defendant's failure to turn over the vehicle is in bad faith. So they're saying, again, they're using very strong words. Defendant's failure to turn over the vehicle is in bad faith, constitutes stubbornness, and cause the plaintiff unnecessary trouble and expense, therefore entitling the plaintiff to recover its expenses of litigation, including attorney fees. They've said that. And that's why I say, y'all, about, these documents, they say the same thing over. But here's, like I said, I wanted to read it a little bit more thoroughly because this is something that I missed. Since these defendants have acted in bad faith and with a specific intent to harm the plaintiff, guys, this is what I missed. They say that this was specific. They did this intentionally. This is what they're saying. And I don't know what evidence they have. Generally, they'll show that at trial, and that is exactly what they want. They said, since they acted in bad faith with specific intent to harm the plaintiff, that they are entitled to an award of punitive damages against the defendants in an amount determined in the enlightened conscience, obviously, of a jury, but they want at least 3 times the value of the car. What is that? Like $1 million? Let me see. What I think it was like let's just say, I think it was like 420. Woo, y'all, this is bad. So let's just estimate. Let's say 420. 420. How much is that? I know it's over $1 million. Y'all, they want 1.2 million something, and then they got attorney fees. Oh, this is not good. So if you guys understand anything about the law, there is something, and I'm not a lawyer, but there is something that states when someone acted in bad faith intentionally, and this is why they're putting this like this, because they saying you did this on purpose. If you guys remember the Tasha K, Cardi B stuff, Cardi B proved that Tasha K did that on purpose, and therefore, it went the way that it did. Now, don't take my word, look it up. But they are wanting them to pay 3 times as much, as the vehicle is worth. It says that they have pretty much taken control of the vehicle. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Let me read this because this is really interesting. And again, they use some very strong verbiage, and it's very interesting to understand. Like I said, I would love to hear from what the attorney said, because the verbiage that they're using, it's almost like they had specific experience, because they're making some really wild allegations. And, they're saying that the car was stolen, that they conspired to do it. That is pretty much what this is saying. Okay. This is what it says. It said that the defendants have and or are exercise dominion and control over the vehicle inconsistent with and in hostility to the plaintiff's right in the vehicle, and they are interfering with the plaintiff's property and the rights to the vehicle. So it's like imagine, somebody let you use something, or you rented something from someone, and they're trying to get information from you, but now you're hostile and you're angry. Yeah, that don't go together. Defendants have wrongfully refused to turn over possession of the vehicle to the plaintiff. Plaintiff has suffered damages due to defendant's action in sub-renting, leasing the vehicle in violation of the lease agreement, disabling the GPS, and willfully damaging the plaintiff's right in the vehicle. So, I mean, they are saying they disabled the GPS. I mean, they signed the agreement. They're not buying that somebody stole this. And again, I didn't get this, when I first read it, I was kind of thinking something else, but they are saying that they are responsible. They're saying that they conspired with whoever and that they are the ones responsible. And they're asking for a judgment against the defendants, every last one of them. That is what they're saying, because they said they had a complete loss with this car. And not only are they asking for 3 times, they want the attorney fees. They want whatever fee that they are pretty much out of, they want them to pay it. And again, I did not realize when I read this that they were saying that, but they're pretty much accusing them of stealing. Now, it says that the defendants acted in bad faith with a specific intent to harm the plaintiff. How many times are they going to say that? Do y'all understand? They are making this to be a criminal matter, although, they're being sued, but you never know what's going to come out in this lawsuit that could potentially lead to some criminal stuff. I don't know. Now, the plaintiff, again, they're saying they are entitled to punitive damages against the defendants in an amount determined by a jury. They want to have a jury trial, and they want at least 3 times the value of the vehicle in order to punish penalize the defendants for their wrongful conduct in the conversion of the plaintiff's interest in the vehicle, and to deter them for such wrongful conduct in the future. Now, do you guys understand why them people mad? I didn't when I, recently did this. I'm just reading it, but I mean, I can understand, but hey, I mean, I'm just reading it. I do the news. It's really not my concern, with regards to anything else. I think I missed something. I don't know where my page, just don't look like my page 11. Okay, but anyway, I'm just going to read it from mine because, okay, so I don't know which page I have on the screen, but it looked like I done lost count. All right, never mind. So here, guys, this gets a little bit weird because, let me read it. It says that they have a writ of possession issue. It says the defendants or any other person in possession of this vehicle that they be in possession of the vehicle be restrained or enjoined from transferring, removing, or conveying the vehicle or its proceeds, and that any proceeds from any sale of the vehicle be turned over to the plaintiff, and that defendants be required to cooperate with plaintiff in turning the vehicle over to plaintiff or the sheriff, the marshal, and disclosing the location of the vehicle to them. See, guys, they are saying that a crime took place. They don't believe that some random person stole this car. Where they got this information, I don't know. But this is why the people are mad, because in this complaint, Kirk King is a part of it. I don't know the other people, but again, in reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kirk King, who is Quad's man, is accused of this such behavior because he is a defendant in this complaint. And the complaint reads that the defendants, he is in fact a defendant. So they are saying that they conspired to get this car. Now, they're saying that, pretty much they don't really know what happened to it, but they're saying that they feel like they are in on whatever happened. They could have sold it. They could be concealing it. They've acted hostile. It all kind of works together. Now, that this court order a sheriff or marshal of this state to recover possession of the vehicle, that the sheriff or marshal may use any and all force necessary or appropriate to possess the vehicle, and that the sheriff or marshal be authorized to gain entry to the premises where the vehicle is located and take possession of. That possession of the vehicle is relinquished back to the real owner. Ooh wee. Shoo. Y'all, this is really bad. And again, I didn't realize, but that's what happens when people want to nuck you buck, right? That happens. So I'm reading it, and y'all, this is bad because they are saying that a crime took place. It's not even about them, with the car being stolen. They're saying that this whole scheme that Todd set up to come with us with the bullshit is a lie. Okay, that's what they're saying. They're saying this is a lie. That's what they're saying. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And that's why the people are mad. So that's why they're mad. But that's not all. Let's get into this part. Where is it? Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this one. Okay. So on this particular document, this is the actual open-ended lease agreement, okay? 2019 Royce Cullinan, okay? They paid $75,000 down. We don't know if they received any more payments after that. There were going to be 50, so they paid $75,000 down. They were to make 58 payments of $5,371.62 on this lease, okay? That's what it says. I don't know, y'all. This is pretty bad. And this is Exhibit A. Exhibit A goes into a lot of more information. I mean, like I said, if y'all want to see this, y'all can go over on my Patreon. I mean, I don't know like what information you're looking for, but you can definitely get this full document over there for 15 smackaroos. If you don't got $15, you should be doing something else. So what I want to do now is that it? Not that. I think that was it right there. So there's an agreement. Let me just see if I can find it because it's like too many documents. And this is why I don't like to redact stuff. It just get to be too much. But anywho, okay. So there's the document here. And what this document said, it is the notice of rental prohibition. What it says is you cannot advertise, offer, or rent this vehicle. You can't lease it. You can't sublease it. You can't sell your interest. And this was signed by the Carlton guy. Okay. He signed this saying that he would not do that. And you know, that's another reason why they mad. They like, listen, you said that you wouldn't do the very things that you did. That's right there. He signed it and it still happened. Okay. And again, that's why they mad. Now, with regards to this document, this is